Today on the channel, we take this review to court. The basketball court, that is, for a hot game of shirts vs. skins with Rogue, Gambit, Hasbro, X-Men 97.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another X-Men 97 Hasbro Marvel Legends unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got the Hasbro Pulse exclusive, Rogue and Gambit. For all your Rogue and Gambit needs, I guess Hasbro Pulse. But for everything else under the sun, hit up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Got to get a deal over there, and they got plenty of stuff to keep you busy. You guys know that by now. And you know how we're going to do this review by now. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And the third and final, at least as of right now, X-Men 97 2-pack is here. We unboxed the other 2-packs on the channel already. Check out those reviews if you did miss them. But this is an interesting one. We first saw at San Diego Comic-Con not too long ago, actually. And this is an interesting one specifically because of the Gambit figure, making the most out of your molds and diving into a different Hasbro toy line that really didn't take off in the starting lineup style figures. So very interested to see some reuse out of that. Not sure it worked when I saw it at San Diego. Not sure it works right now, but we're going to dive into the package and we're going to see, dare I say, what all the fuss is about. So let's dive into it. X-Men 97 2-pack style. Marvel Legends up top. X-Men 97. Rogue and Gambit, and this is perfect for anybody over 4 years old. You 3-year-olds, you're out of luck here. No basketball for you. Stick to watching from the sidelines. We've got Gambit and Rogue in the package. There's old shirtless Gambit here. I guess he's playing skins. Should have been the other way around, but what do I know? What do I know? And then there's old Rogue, which is obviously dangerous to play if she was in skins, but it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk. And then you got Rogue and Gambit on the back. Got the cross-sell, the other 2-packs we talked about. Jibber Jabber down low, Marvel Legends. Our usual packing design here, but it looks good. I like it. I like X-Men 97. I love X-Men, the animated series. A favorite of mine when I was a kid, a favorite now. See you later, goodbye, plastic or cardboard prison, more like it. And there it is. They got them locked up in here. No twist ties. I guess I don't need my scissors this time. But we're going to pop these hands out, and we're going to see what all the fuss is about. And as I said, there's been quite amount of fuss on this. Quite amount of fuss. Rogue, Gambit, 2 all-timers, 2 classic X-Men that really caught fire in the 90s when I was reading comic books. So a lot of people after these 2. See you later, goodbye. Gambit falling on hard times in X-Men 97, but we know he's coming back. We know what's going to happen there, and we'll dive into that when that time does come. But let's start it off. It is a female-first channel here. We're going to start off with Rogue, the Southern Belle, ready to go. We got 2 splayed-out hands for her. Of course, yellow gloved hands. And she does got the yellow and green attack. Huge Oakland A's fan going all the way back when she was a little kid. Now, they do say most kids growing up in the South, the Alabamas, the Arkansas, the Mississippis, not Oakland A's fans. I don't agree with that. I think that's one of the heart areas of the Oakland A's fans, as we all know. I don't know what else they'd be cheering for down there. But she is an A's fan, as we have determined over the last couple of unboxings of Rogue figures. We're going to start off with the head sculpt here. Looks good for Rogue. Got those nice lips there in red, a little bit of teeth showing. You got the caterpillar eyebrows there, nice eyes on her, very loving eyes. And then you got that classic Rogue hair with the gray and the red, looking very good. Works well for her, works well for her. But then she does got a shirt over the top, which I remember watching the episode, like, why does she have this shirt on over the top? They're playing shirts for skins, and I guess they're playing one-on-one, and they didn't want to get confused which was which. Very strange. You could have just said, hey, Rogue's wearing all the clothes, Gambit's taking his shirt off, you're good to go. But instead, she wanted to get a little bit hotter with this 80s. Hotter in more ways than one, though. You could make the argument for that. And this 80s style kind of cropped shirt action going there. Very wild. Got the X logo on there. It is soft goods over the top. It is removable. You're going to have to take the head off and stuff. But there is different ways to display this one if you want to. And obviously, you can grab it. We'll do comparisons later on. You can grab the Rogue from X-Men 97 and swap the heads if you want to as well. So there is some meat on the bone for this Rogue figure if need be. But looking good in the green and yellow. Oh, my Oakland A's heart. Shout out to Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire. the Bash Brothers ride again. I'm so glad they got back together. They put bygones to the side and said, let's bash them one more time, and that's what they did. So shout out to Mark McGuire, shout out to Jose Canseco. But she just got her full-on bodysuit here. You got the bicep painted in there in yellow. Same thing on the thighs. You got the lines there. You got the yellow shoes there. You do got the wrist bracers and ankle bracers. We are seeing a little bit light on the paint. Could have used another coat of yellow down here on the feet as you got some green showing through. Always a pet peeve of mine. But looking good, looking very chesty like Rogue normally does. Looks like she's ready for the basketball court. But I don't know about these punches and bunches. She needs those open hands for the basketball court. She's got to defend. She's got to be ready to go. But it is what it is. But her arms do go all the way around for us. No butterfly, but you get the bicep. Double jointed, pinless elbows, playing all the hits. Very small hands on her, back and forth, side to side. Head back and forth, side to side. A little bit limited by her hair, as you can imagine. She just got the dumbbell up top. No traditional waist for her. Big old Rogue splits if you need them. Leg goes up for the big boot. Double jointed, pinless knees. Ankles, nope. Nope. But you do get the ankle up and down, back and forth, side to side, but no side to side, no ankle cut on this one here for Rogue. Not a bad figure. Definitely not a must-have Rogue. I think when people think of Rogue, this isn't necessarily exactly what they think of. They don't think of her playing basketball, but a memorable scene from the show, as we know. And we do got the other Rogue here. A very hard to get one until it was re-released, and that's what always happens. If there's money to be made, I don't care if it's NECA, Hasbro, Todd McFarlane from the couch, they're going to get these things back out there. They want all the money. All the money. They want every dollar out of your wallet. They want to run your cards, and they want the pocket change. Maybe not the pennies, I'm not sure, but they want all of that. And we do got Rogue in 2 different looks here. Not bad, not bad. This is a lot more classic, though, but you could switch the heads, and we could do that in another video. Interesting to note, she's a little bit shorter on the last version, so she grew for the basketball game, so kudos to her. She was eating her Wheaties. Who knows what she was up to? But there's a double dose of Rogue. But now we turn our attention to an interesting one, this Gambit. Now, Gambit, an all-timer character. Always loved Gambit. As a kid reading the comics, collecting figures, always liked him. Not sure about this look, though. This isn't his best look. That's what I'm going to say. But we got extra hands with this one. You got some splayed-out hands and gloved hands and missing a couple of fingers along the way. But he's ready to defend. He's ready to defend anybody he needs to. He's ready to take it like a young Bill Lambier. And then we do got a finger right here. You can spin the ball, apparently. I don't know if this ball is removable. It is not removable, which is an interesting thing. I figured for sure we could remove this, but it is not removable. So Rogue can't play a little game either? That's a little bit disappointing. And I thought for sure there'd be like a hole in the basketball and you could put this finger on it to make it look like he's spinning the ball. But that is not the case. Very strange set of circumstances right here. Is what it is, though. So we're going to dive into it. We're going to dive into Gambit. And I guess we'll start with that basketball. It looks like a basketball, and it's attached to his hand. We know what it's like. Now, the body on this one, very long and lean. It is a little strange, but it is a starting lineup body. So that is a good idea as Hasbro as a corporation. They have all that money they spent on starting lineups. That was an epic, colossal failure, unfortunately. A lot of talk about that. I mean, we could even do a deep dive discussion as to why that failed and where they went wrong and what went wrong. But it is smart of them to find some of the tooling and use it over here where it does work. And I guess it works here, but also doesn't work here. It just does look a little bit strange to me. It just doesn't look like Marvel Legends. It looks like a starting lineup Marvel Legend hybrid, but at the end of the day, that's what it is. So it does make sense, but very long and lean and weird cuts at the stomach there for the ab crunch. And we'll get to the articulation on him, but we'll start with the head. He's got the do-rag over the top. You know he means business. Got those fiery red eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth. Very stoic, determined look on his face. Haven't seen a face like this since, gosh, probably James Worthy back in the 80s. I mean, a lot like, they look almost like twins, as we know. But looking good here for old Gambit as far as basketball Gambit does go. But it is a little strange, I got to admit. Now, he's got the gloved hands going on here, looking good. Blue basketball shorts on. He's ready to take on all comers in that one. And then you got the blue tennis shoes, and you got the high socks, which always is a goofy look. Apparently this look is coming back because I see a lot of people with this look. It is always very goofy to me, though, to see socks. I feel like you need the ankle socks is what you need. But once again, that could be just me. Now, articulation, arms all the way around for us. But we do get the butterfly shoulder here with the basketball. But once again, we're not getting that. It's there, but it's not. Oh, maybe it's just really, really tight. There we go. It's just really tight. Might have to heat this one up, but you do get the butterfly with the starting lineup style body. You do get the bicep cut, double jointed, pinless elbows, playing all the hits, hands removable back and forth, side to side. Really disappointed this basketball is not removable. I really feel like it needed to be removable so him and Rogue could pass the ball, do other kind of stuff if they needed to. But you can display him. You can put him up in the air. I'm going to put him in the pose my dad. My dad and I used to play basketball. You guys know my dad by now. 6'8", just a tower of power. Big center back in the day. Shoots the three, shoots lights out. Used to dunk on his kid. But my dad would do this move all the time because he could palm that basketball and we'd play. And he'd say, you want to play regular or you want to play prison rules? And I'd always say, let's play prison rules. Let's do it. And then he'd always like jack me in the nose, bust me up and all that kind of stuff. That's what would happen when you play prison rules with your dad. He's basically a pro basketball player, but he used to always get that ball and he'd put it way up in the air and he'd do this and I'd be jumping, trying to get it. And there was nothing I could do. And then sometimes he'd just do the sky hook and it would just go in every time. It was hard to defend, especially when you're like 4 feet tall and he's 6'8". You can imagine the hilarity, the whole neighborhood probably watching that. But he used to get that ball and sometimes he'd put it right in your face and pull it back and just, it was just shenanigans all over the place on the basketball court. He was a tough guy to beat, let me tell you. And if you ever got close to beating him, he'd just go in and dunk on you or he'd shoot that three and just say, okay, play time's over. Let's finish it up. And then maybe give you those sharp elbows to the nose and bust you open too. So a dangerous, dangerous game. Nobody wants any piece of my dad in the basketball court, let me tell you. Let me tell you. But looking good right here. Love the basketball. Just wish it was removable. But then you get to the ab crunch. A little strange. Now, plenty of range of motion here, but very unnatural, very strange looking. But a lot of motion, and it does work really good. You do get the side to side at the waist, up and down, back and forth. So a lot of movement out of that. It does make me regret. I never did see that basketball hoop that they had for starting lineups. I wish I could have got that. A lot of people had them at their ollies. Unfortunately, no ollies in my area, but I would have loved to pick up one of those basketballs just for figure photography. Todd and Kyle could have played a hot game of pig maybe out there. You never know, but maybe I'll be on the lookout for one of those. We'll see what happens. Leg goes up a little bit, limited by those shorts, but you do get the side to side, back and forth. Double jointed pinless knees, and you get a little thigh cut inside there as well. Ankles up, down, back, forth, side to side. Now, my dad came over, if I'm not mistaken, we unboxed a starting lineup. I think it was LeBron James on the channel. So if you want to see our take on the starting lineup figures, and my dad, an OG starting lineup fan, we used to go to the conventions and everything. You get a little bit of my dad's take and my take on those, if that is of interest to you. But Gambit, an interesting one. I see what they're doing here. It's just goofy looking. However, it was goofy looking in the cartoon, so it translates pretty well, in all honesty. And I do think this one is better in hand than I thought it was, as I wasn't really impressed at San Diego Comic-Con, but it does look pretty good by itself right here. Is old Gambit, and much like Rogue, we got the Gambit. More Gambit we're used to here from the X-Men 97 line. And I do got one of those collegiate sport legends. We unboxed this recently here. We got old Captain Gridiron Army, so you can kind of see very similar articulation between these with differences as well. But very cool to get some athlete-style figures. Starting lineup seems to be done, but the collegiate legends riding in style right now, just like Rogue, just like Gambit, just like X-Men 97. There it is, the gruesome twosome, ready to take on all comers. Prison rules on the basketball court. What's your thoughts on these two? Pickups, passes, long game, too deep of a cut for you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. You made it this far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day. 2 channels with videos every single day, and even more content over on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. If you want more content and you want to support the channel, check it out if you have not already. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. Conveniently enough, the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show, available where podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube. Check it out if you have not already. So for Gambit basketball style and Rogue basketball style, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?